You tune into the SportsCast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the SportsCast. Tune into the SportsCast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome into the OutSpoken SportsCast. This is your host, Brian. I'm so grateful to be on this show today with you. Episode number 97, Wildcard Weekend recap here. We're going to go over the games of the weekend and really find out if my bracket is still correct. If not, who I predicted to win. Me and Ryan, my buddy, jumped on a special edition last week on Thursday and gave you predictions of the whole bracket. And then me and Jeff jumped on, and we're going to break down game by game, and we'll break down each week. I'll give you a recap. Jeff will come on Friday, and we'll kind of talk about the playoff games in both sets here. But we had some interesting games this week. We had some fantastic games. We had some blowouts. We had some letdowns. We had two games that didn't even matter, that was just terrible. We'll get into all that here. Hope your week's going fantastic. It's just a Tuesday night here, but let's get on to Friday. Let's get on to playoff football. I'm so excited for the Packers to play some playoff football. So, all right, guys, the first game of the week was the Raiders and Bengals. I was excited for this game. My guy, Joe Burrow, is the man, okay? And I guess I'm going to call him my guy. I follow this guy through college, and I've just been a big fan of his. When he went to Cincinnati, he's hoping to turn this thing around. And this team's been impressive, okay? This team has played good defense. They got a good running game. Joe Burrow is not afraid to throw the football. Joe Burrow throws the ball over the R. They got Jamar Chase. Huge for this offense. They got T. Higgins. They got some good wide receivers as well. Now, Tyler Boyd, they've got some decent offensive weapons there. They need to bolster up that offensive line, but they took on the Raiders, and the Raiders are a team. They are fighters. They don't give up, and I talked about this before. Is we've got to give credit to the job that Derek Carr's done as being a leader of the football team, and everything that the Raiders have come through and gone through this season, and losing John Gruden, losing a player because he killed a lady by drunk driving and making a dumb decision that ruined lives. They lost another player as well for gun violence. So everything that they've gone through to get here, they've had to win in big games. Derek Carr's been a good quarterback this season and won the games they needed to win to make the playoffs. The head coach, I think the interim head coach needs to be on there for good. Give him a 2 or 3 year contract, let him prove it more that he can have this team winning. We'll see where they go with him, but this game was a good game. It was down to the wire. The Cincinnati Bengals won this game 26-19. I projected us to win this game. So did Brian Sims as well. Picked the Bengals to take the Raiders. The Raiders drove all the way down the field at the end of the game to try and win or try and tie up the game to go to overtime. Fourth down with 17 seconds left, 4th and goal. Derek Carr throws an interception, and Derek Carr played good. He had 310 yards. He played pretty good. 310 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jacobs had 83 yards rushing. Derek Waller had 76 yards with 7 receptions. He had 12 total targets, so he missed a couple, or Derek Carr was off on a couple. I would like to see Derek Carr be a little more efficient percentage-wise. But other than that, the Raiders played tough. They played a pretty good game. The Bengals were just the better team here. The Bengals with Joe Burrow, he threw for 244, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They were just rolling. They had 244 receiving yards. Jamar Chase looked good. They rushed for almost 100 yards. It was 83, so not too terrible. But this game was a good game. I knew it was going to be a good game. I figured it was going to be a close game as we projected, and it was. It was a close game. The Bengals move on next week. I got this one right. So did Ryan Sims. Now, when you look at the Patriots-Bills game, my goodness, we could not have been so far off of this game. The Bills dominated this game. Bills beat the Patriots 47-17. They beat them by 30 points. I've never seen a Bill Belichick team not look ready to play. This team did not look ready to play. I don't know if it was because of the cold weather. Josh Allen had 308 yards. He had 5 touchdown passes. Mike Jones, 232, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The Buffalo Bills rushed for 174 yards. Josh Allen ran for 66. Singletary had a good game as well, 81 yards. When you look at this game, you break down this game. The Buffalo Bills are fantastic last season. I really believed in them. This offense was booming. This defense should have been a little better last year. I said they're going to be a team to reckon with this season. Then they lost some questionable games. They lost the Steelers the very opening week of the season. I said, okay, we don't know what the Steelers are yet, right? We don't know yet what they're going to be. They lost to them. They lost to Jacksonville 9-6. They lost to other teams that they shouldn't have lost to. And I go, the Bills, there's something missing this season. Maybe the offense has digressed a little bit. The defense right now for the Buffalo Bills has been the number 1 defense in the NFL. I figured the Patriots defense would have shut down the rushing attack and made Josh Allen beat him with the arm. And he did a good job of that with 5 touchdowns. But he came out to play. He came out with a drive and said, look, I'm going to win this game for us, put the team on his back. Defense stepped up, shut down Mac Jones. They allowed 89 rushing yards. Nothing too bad. They were able to shut the Bills down. It wasn't even, or the Patriots down, wasn't even close. Kudos to the Buffalo Bills. They are going to ruin my bracket because the Bills, I picked the Patriots to win this game. I thought that the defense of the Patriots was going to be able to shut down the Bills. And I thought that Mac Jones was going to do enough to not lose the game because that's what he does. He does enough to not lose with a good defense. It was 27-3 at halftime. We could have turned that game off, and I did. I turned the game off, and I flipped back and forth. I'm like, 47-17. What a bad game that was. So we move over to the Eagles and the Buccaneers game. This game I knew wasn't going to be worth watching. The Eagles are garbage. Garbage. The only reason this team is in the playoffs is because they play in a garbage division. Giants are garbage. The Redskins are garbage. The Washington football team. And the Eagles are garbage. Okay? They have the Dallas Cowboys in the division they don't own the division. My bad. You can't own a division if you don't win it multiple times in a row. We knew the Cowboys were going to win that division, right? Every other team in that division's garbage. The Minnesota Vikings are better than the Eagles. They're more talented. I'll argue with that over anybody who wants to argue about the NFC North and the NFC East. I'm not saying my division is that great. The Minnesota Vikings are better than the 3 teams left in the division in the NFC East. This team didn't deserve to be there. Now, look, I will give kudos to the Eagles because we expected them to be the bottom of their division. No way they make the playoffs. They got to the playoffs. Kudos, slap on the back. That's it. This game was over at half. It was 17-0. This game was done. Okay, Tom Brady moves on in the next round. No big deal. Not much to get into there. This is the game we all look forward to, guys. The 49ers, 6 seed, taking on the Dallas Cowboys, number 3 seed. Dallas Cowboys flat out did not show up. Flat out again. This number 1 offense in the league, putting up the most points in the league per game, did not show up. They couldn't score 20 points in a playoff game. Look, the 49ers are not that bad of a 6 seed, right? They're a pretty good team. They run the ball really well. They play physical. They punch you in the mouth. They play good defense. They came out on fire, and the Cowboys came out slow, like they usually do this season, against good teams. Now, the Cowboys have beat up on bad teams. They've 6-0 in the division, right? They beat up on bad teams, and that's what made these offensive weapons and these offensive numbers skyrocket to look like the number 1 offense in the league. I told Ryan in text today, I will never. I don't care if the Cowboys go 16-1 next year. I'm not considering them to be contenders until they prove it in the playoffs. And I think it's only fair. After 26 years, I'm not doing anything. And then you get here. I've given the Cowboys a bunch of credit the last 2 seasons. Well, not last year, the year before. Saying this team is going to be good. They show up, and they show up some games they don't. Jeff framed them and named them the coin flip Cowboys, and that's exactly what you got here. You got a coin flip. Is the good Dallas Cowboy team. Look, the Dallas Cowboys are the better football team here. Plain and simple. They have the better offense. They have the better quarterback. They don't have the better head coach. They were out coached in this football game. They don't have a better defense overall. They do get more turnovers, but I don't know if they have a better defense overall. I think the 49ers defense finished higher in top defense than Dallas Cowboys. But the Dallas Cowboys blew it. They blew it. I'm going to look that up real quick on the defensive stats. I don't want to be too wrong on that. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Okay. Dallas Cowboys has the better defense. They were finished the 7th best defense in the league, and the 49ers finished the 9th. Dallas had everything. They had the home field advantage. This was just they didn't show up. Dak Prescott looked bad. He looked off, missed throwing throws, or there was no rushing attack from Zeke Elliott. The 49ers came in, got the ball, drove down the field, 7 plays, scored a touchdown. The Cowboys went 3 and out, including taking a sack. 49ers got the ball back, went up 10-0, scored 2 more field goals. The Cowboys put 7 points on the board before halftime. And here's another game that we've seen that the Dallas Cowboys show up in the second half. They show up in the fourth quarter, and they expect to win. The Cowboy fans blaming refs. You had 15 penalties. The most penalized playoff team in a game in NFL history. You're the most penalized football team this season. So don't give me that. Don't give me that the refs screwed up. You scored 10 points in the fourth quarter to make it a game, and you had a chance. Jimmy Garoppolo threw an interception, gave you a lot of guys momentum back. I figured, okay, they're going to pull this one out by the skin of their teeth, but they're not going to win next week, and I projected them to lose to Tampa Bay. I projected them to win this game. They lost, and kudos to the 49ers. They got the job done. They played a tough team, a team that wasn't prepared to show up. And let's talk about the final play of the game, okay? This has been something that's been talked about a lot. Tony Romo says before, the Cowboys have no timeouts. There's 14 seconds on the clock. Tony Romo says, if they do not get out of bounds and they get tackled out of bounds, he says, you have no time to run another play, right? Dak Prescott snaps the ball, rushes right up the middle, gets tackled in the middle of the field. Okay, me and a lot of Cowboy fans are probably going, why is he running the ball? We have no timeouts. You got to get out of bounds. It didn't make no sense to me. They try and get up and they try and set their own ball and snap the ball. Well, obviously that's against the rules. A referee has to come touch the ball and set it before you can snap the ball. The referee is running, trying to get through the offensive lineman and Dak Prescott. They are already there thinking they're going to be able to snap the ball. Get out the way, and maybe he gets there a little quicker. He has to run Dak Prescott over, try to get past the lineman, grab the ball, place it, and then you have a chance to snap the ball. And then you snap the ball and spike it, but there's no time on the clock. This is fundamental football, but Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys must have forgot about. Uh, and not only that, that play itself was dumb. Okay, no ifs, ands, or buts. My thing is that the 49ers are the most penalized team in PI this season. They have a terrible coverage team. And you don't take a shot downfield in the last two plays. You're better off at taking a shot, getting a penalty, and getting a better chance, a closer chance at scoring a touchdown from there. You don't even attempt it. You don't even attempt. That's the maddening part for me. I'm like, why do you not throw the ball? You have Amari Cooper, you have CeeDee Lamb, who both great athletes who can jump like no other, especially CeeDee Lamb. You got Schultz, who's a great tight end who could catch. What are you doing? That play, I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I'm like, what? Why did you run the ball? It makes no sense. And if you do run the ball there, Dak, you have to know when you got to get down and have enough time to be able to spike the ball. And it wasn't very far. And you ended the game. That's not what lost you the game. What lost you the game is y'all didn't show up till the fourth quarter. You didn't show up. Period. The 49ers were able to run the ball. They had 172 rushing yards. No, wait, my bad. Let's see. My bad. They had 169 rushing. Mitchell almost had 100 yards. Deebo Samuel had 72 yards. Now, Deebo Samuel is a freaking weapon. No matter where you put him on the field, he's hard to stop. They had 172 passing or receiving yards. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't that impressive this game. 172 yards, one interception. Dak Prescott 254, one interception, one touchdown. Sacked 5 times for 40 yards. Just bad. They didn't play very good. They did not play very good at all. And that's why I'm never considering them again to be a contender until they can prove it in the playoffs. And Jeff is right. Jeff was right about this game. I got to give it to him. They didn't show up. Did not show up. And I know you Cowboy fans are pulling your head out now. The biggest question is, and I'll give you my answer right now, is will Coach McCarthy have a job here? And I got to thinking about it. They asked this question over last week about on 105.3 The Fan and Sean and RJ, and they talk about, will McCarthy be fired? There's rumors that McCarthy will be fired if he doesn't reach expectations, which Jerry Jones' expectations are set high, right? I heard it was the NFC Championship game or bust for McCarthy. I said, it's the second year. Dak got hurt the first year. You really don't know what you got in McCarthy yet. But then after this game, he's got to go. All right, Jerry Jones, McCarthy's got to go, and I'll give you 2 reasons here. Coach McCarthy he doesn't call the offense here, right? He doesn't call the offensive play calls. So when they ask him at the end of the game, which they did, who decided to run the ball there, said, I don't call the offensive plays. He is basically throwing Kellen Moore right under that bus. Okay. That's not why I'm saying he should fire him. He doesn't call the offensive plays. He obviously has nothing to do with the defense. He is a kind of a CEO. He walks around and has a little part of motivating guys and everything else. But when you don't do one or the other, your main thing is, as a head coach, is time management and disciplining your guys. getting them ready to play. The Dallas Cowboys lost this game because they were not disciplined. They've been undisciplined all season long, and they still won those games. They've been undisciplined. The most penalized team in the NFL, the most penalties against them in the NFL playoff game in the NFL history. That is not ready to play. That is not focused. That is unacceptable for a head coach. And your time management cost you the game. That last play of the game was laughable. It was laughable, and that's how you ended your season. Those are the reasons I say Coach McCarthy needs to go, and they need to find a better coach in Dallas. Does Jerry Jones want to have that turnover? They asked Stephen Jones at the end of the game. He said, look, I'm confident he'll be our coach next season. Jerry Jones said, or he canceled his interview today on the Fan. He's moved it back for later on this week. So I don't know. Something's coming. Maybe a short leash for McCarthy. Maybe he's fired. I have no idea, but that is an unexcusable performance for the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. All right, guys, the late game on Saturday was the Chiefs and Steelers. This game was done. This game was over. The Steelers had no shot of winning. Even the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, said, yeah, we ain't got a shot of winning. Let's just go out and have fun. And I know he was being funny and kind of just trying to get a little motivation under his team. But, yeah, it's pathetic. 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes went off for 104 yards. He was 30 of 39, 5 touchdowns. He did have an interception. This was just a game that I didn't even watch. And I already knew who was going to win. The Chiefs are going to win that game easily, not even a competition. Monday Night Football, I said, look, this is going to be a good game. Cardinals need to prove themselves. They've kind of slipped off the second half of the season. The Rams need to show that Matthew Stafford's not going to throw interceptions left and right. This is a division game. It will be tough. I was dead wrong on that. Rams come in and dominate the Cardinals. I did project the Rams to win this game. 34-11. They scored 7 in the first, 14 in the second. It was 21-0 at halftime, and they could have finished 21-11 and still won the game. But the Rams came out and still scored touchdowns. Odell Beckham Jr. had a decent game. He had a touchdown pass. No, he didn't have a touchdown pass. He was 1 for 1 with 40 yards. It was a pretty good throw. And Kyle Murray, wow. Pathetic performance by Kyle Murray. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. His QBR was 7.6. He was 19 of 34 and 137 yards passing. That's pathetic. Pathetic performance. Cliff Kingsbury, they're talking about how he didn't even deserve to have this job. This team, Cliff Kingsbury was talked about last year being on the hot seat. He brings his team in and they're on fire until they played the Green Bay Packers. The Packers won. And then they felt the Cardinals fell apart. After that loss, they lost some key players. Kyle Murray couldn't get the job done. They did beat the Dallas Cowboys, but they were not impressive in that game. Cliff Kingsbury and even in college has a history of falling off on the second half of the seasons. Everywhere he goes, they start off on fire. They start off hot. And the next thing you know, you're struggling to make playoffs, or you fall from the first seed down to the 5th seed as a wild card, and it's just not looking good, right? So this game was a game for prove it for me. And I've always thought, and Ryan Sims came on set at first, Kyle Murray's overrated. And I'm going to have to agree with him. He is overrated. I don't know what it is. This Rams defense went off and held them. Cooper Kupp had 61 yards. This was the Rams had 242 yards receiving. Every guy had some yardage. Akers had 40 yards. Jefferson had 41. Higbee, 46. Beckham, 54. 61 from Kupp. This was a group effort. They were all ready to play. They were all disciplined. Unlike the Dallas Cowboys and Coach McCarthy, Sean McVay had his guys ready to play. Kingsbury, they scored 0 points first half. They put up 3 in the fourth. That's a pathetic performance. Pathetic. I was hoping this game would be good. I'm glad the Rams won because the schedule, let's jump to the schedule for next week, and it's going to be one fantastic weekend. It's gonna be one great week. Let's get to that schedule real quick here. If my computer stuff's messing up, let's see. The divisional round playoffs. Okay, this changed up our bracket. We were wrong, Ryan Sims, on our bracket. You lost. Me and you both lost. The Cowboy won. We lost. The Patriots won. So it screws up our whole bracket. We're not perfect here, but the games coming up this weekend are by far going to be the best you're going to see. Cincinnati starts off at 3:30 at the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry is going to get the ball, or Derrick Henry is going to be back in this football game. And look, I got to give Tennessee some kudos. I have not really talked much about them, and I've not given them enough credit. Losing Derrick Henry, we all stuck a fork in them. We said they are done, they are burnt, they are out of here. They're the number one seed in the AFC. Got to give them credit that they got the number one in the AFC, and they gave Henry another week of rest. He'll be back. Will he be fully healthy? Can Cincinnati go in there and beat them? The Tennessee Titans have played pretty good defense this season. They're going to they're going to get at Joe Burrow. They're going to be able to, hopefully for the Tennessee Titan fans, be able to stop Jamar Chase and make it difficult on them. I'm not going to give you predictions now. Okay, guys? That'll be Friday night with my buddy Jeff. We will give you predictions on Friday. This one will be a great game. Saturday night at 7:15 on Fox, you have San Francisco traveling to Green Bay, the frozen tundra. Hopefully it's really cold and affects the San Francisco 49ers. That'd be great. They play. That's going to be a good game. Now, Green Bay's had bad history with the 49ers in the playoffs. It's true. Okay. This is the kind of team I didn't really want to face. They run the ball well. We don't really that's one of our weaknesses. It's been better. Our team's been better this season at that than it has in the past when we face these guys. Again, I'm not giving you predictions yet. I'm going to give you those predictions on Friday, but this should be a good game as well. The 49ers are a 6th seed team. I get it. They're a better 6th seed team than most people think. They're top 10 in offense and top 10 in defense. Green Bay's got to come in and get them off their game. But that's going to be a fantastic game. Then you jump over to Sunday. Sunday fun day. Okay. Los Angeles travels Tampa Bay to play Tom Brady. Matthew Stafford. This is the game. This is one of the games that they got you for, right? Get over that hump. Let's go in. Let's put pressure on Tom Brady. Let's beat Tampa Bay and take them out of the playoffs. Tom Brady's a little bit beaten up on the offensive side with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The defense looks still good. They stop the rushing attack really well, and they're going to force Matthew Stafford to make smart decisions with the football. Can he do that? That is my one worry about this game is can Matthew Stafford not turn over the football? And then you look at Sunday Night Football, CBS. Buffalo travels to Kansas City. Kansas City just came off a easy victory over the Steelers. Can they continue that momentum? They're going to be playing at home, a stadium that you don't want to visit in the playoffs or a regular season game if you're a visiting football team. The Buffalo Bills coming off stomping a mud hole in the Patriots. They look like the Buffalo Bills from last year with a little better defense. Mike Singletary had a good game. I'm looking for him to have another good game. Help out Josh Allen in that rushing attack. Can they put up the same points? Can they dominate this game? The Kansas City offense, though, is going to put up points. It's just, can you control them? Can you control the clock and keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline? We got some fantastic games. I told you this playoffs is going to be wonderful. Wonderful time of the year for football fans as we get down to the nitty-gritty as we head into next week, the NFC and AFC championship games, and we'll see who gets there, guys. We will see. Green Bay, do me a favor. If you're going to lose an NFC championship game, just lose on Saturday. I don't want to make another one, and I don't want to lose it. If we're going to make it, get to the Super Bowl, baby. Get to the Super Bowl is all I ask, and hopefully we get there and we win it. The Bills look really, really good right now. I don't know if people put them as their favorites. Green Bay, looks good to the regular season. We still got to see them in a playoff game. The Bengals offense, when we projected the championship game, I projected the Packers to beat the Tennessee Titans. I projected the Packers to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if Tennessee gets past the Bengals. The Bengals would look really good. They snuck out a win. It wasn't a dominating performance to beat the Raiders, but the Raiders are a tough, gritty, fighting team. So we'll see what happens in the game. We got a lot of good football, guys. I hope you guys are tuning in here to the Outspoken Sportscast and kind of listening to our takes. Me and Jeff will jump on, like I said, on Friday. We will break down the last week's game. He's going to want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys game, definitely. And then we're going to break down these games and kind of get into that and give you our predictions on Friday. That's why I'm not giving you the predictions right now who I think is going to win, because we're going to do that on Friday for you. Great playoff games. I'm super excited about this weekend. It was great to watch the weekend football without any stress. I'll be stressing out this weekend. My buddy who's a 49ers fan, Manuel, is coming over to the house. We're going to have some wings. We're going to have a good time. Hopefully his team loses and I'm able to, walk away with a victory in that one. So continue to have a fantastic week. It's going to be about 63, 70 tomorrow in Texas, and then it's going to drop into the 40s for high and 30s. And that's the way it goes around this year, as we have 40-degree changes from one day to the other, and it's extremely annoying. But that's here in Texas. The winds are blowing, and that cold winter is coming in. All right, guys, we'll continue to have a fantastic week. Continue to get hyped up for the playoffs. Let us know if there's anything you want us guys to talk about. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I am live streaming to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter as we speak. We're on Twitch. We're on all podcast platforms as well. Apple Music, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Come find us. Come click us. Come like us. I'm on TikTok. I'll drop a couple videos out there. I have my new Outspoken food reviews where I've taste and review food. Obviously, come check that out. My first video came up last week. I reviewed the spicy ketchup from Whataburger, the number 2 edition. It's really, really good and better, in my opinion, as far as spiciness goes, than the first one. All right, guys. Well, that's my takes on last week's game. And these games coming up are going to be fantastic. Stay tuned. God bless and have a great week.